一体どういうことなの？
ああ、シャノン、無事でよかった。君に何かあったら僕は。
I was wondering how they were gonna, you know, make themselves not be the people who killed Nanjo and Kumasawa.
庄司様。ジョージ君、少し静かにして。あなたたちの目の前で殺人が行われたんでしょ。犯人を見たの。
Wait, but then who actually killed Nanjo and Kumasawa?
What do you mean?
There were people in that room that saw Nanjo and Kumasawa die. How did they die? Who killed them?
Well, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, how are they gonna make it so that it wasn't them? Because if you don't believe in magic, then the only people who could have killed them were Genji, Goda, and Shannon.
It's true.
So they have to find a way to prove themselves innocent.
それがその、なんと説明すればいいのか。源氏さん。
私たちにも見たものをうまく説明できません。
Yeah.
確かにそれは私たちの目の前で起こりました。私の目の前にいた。だけれど、あれは何だったんだ。私にもわからないんです。
何を言ってるの？あなたが出会ったのは昨夜から所在不明の魔女ベアトリーチェか、行方不明になっているカノン君かのどちらかしかありえない。男か女か、それだけでも答えられるでしょう。
Look at those butterflies.
少し落ち着くって。目の前で二人やられりゃ誰だって混乱だってする。
It was canon, but
Not canon.
but not canon.
ゴダさん、
It was head canon.
ゲンジさん、焦らなくていいぜ。
Is this canon?
何があったのか
No,
順を追
this
っ
is
て話して
Patrick.
くれ。
Is this the Krusty Krab? No. This is Patrick.
それが何を私は言えばいいのか。
Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san had been killed. We understood that much, and it seemed that it had occurred in front of their eyes. But even so, they spoke awkwardly. They admitted that they had definitely seen the crime with their own eyes, but when asked to explain what they had seen, their mouths went suddenly shut. I could understand why Auntie Rosa was irritated and losing her patience.
シャノン、君は見たのかい？南條先生が襲われるところ。
はい。
僕に教えて。分かることだけでもいい。一体何があったの？
勝手口に来たんです。
そうです。勝手口に誰かがやってきたんです。そして誰だろうと私は扉を開けました。
Rose is not gonna buy
勝
this.
手口に誰か？
No.
それは誰？
It was
最
canon.
後まで言わせてやれ。それから
そいつは血まみれで大怪我をしていました。私たちは使用人室に運び、すぐに南
Rose is
條
gonna
先生が手当
flip
てをし
shit.
ました。
They're not telling her who it is.
Yeah, why doesn't he say canon? Is it because he doesn't want...
Because he doesn't know if it's
そ
canon.
のとても深い傷でした。
Probably.
It was a very deep wound and the guy kept sticking his frickin' fingers in it.
だからそれは誰のことなの？
Yeah.
わからないんです。
How do
確
you
か
not
に
know who it was?
最初はそうだと思っていました。
They should have just come right out and
い
said
や
it.
今でもそうだと思ってるんです。でも
Rose is gonna shoot him.
あれは一体わからない。わから
Come
ない。
on, Goda. In a manner that didn't match his large body, Goda held his head and scratched at it. I didn't have a clue whether he was confused because he couldn't remember,
Or confused because his head was blown off.
or whether he was confused because he had seen something terrifying and couldn't accept it, like his head being blown off. Just couldn't bring himself to accept it. And Shannon looked the same way. If she let her guard down, what she had seen just a short while ago would quickly melt away like a daydream, and she wouldn't even be able to remember what she saw. That's what she looked like. Only Genji looked composed as usual, so the questions were naturally directed at Genji. But even Genji had to take quite some time to gather his thoughts before he opened his mouth.
源氏さん、あなたは見たんでしょ。勝手口に来たのは誰？
はじめ私たちはその人物がカノンであると信じました。
ほら、やっぱり生きていたでしょ。私の推理は正しかった。
初めはってことは、後にその認識は変わるってこと？
はい、その後に起こったことは口では説明できません。南條先生と熊沢を殺し、そして姿を消しました。その時彼は間違いなくカノンではありませんでした。
そうなんです。源氏さんの言う通りなんですよ。口ではとても説明できない。
君も同じ意見なのかい？
はい、私も同じことしか申し上げられません。
This is so suspicious, man. No one's gonna buy this. If we interpreted what they were saying favorably, it meant that Auntie Rose's conclusion had been correct from the beginning. Canon-kun had appeared from the back door in the kitchen with a serious injury.
Wait. Hold on a second. Well, is this the same song that was just playing?
I think
Yes.
it is. I think it's a different variation on the theme.
Or it just hasn't gotten to that part that was right before.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's still the same track, but it loops.
Is this the first... Was that the first time we'd heard this track, or we heard this track before?
I think we've heard this before.
This is one of my favorite tracks. I like it.
It's a good one. Reminds me of, do you ever play Halo?
No.
Okay.
I think this track's called Mind.
Mind. It's a good one. It reminds me of Halo 3 ODST's soundtrack. Canon-kun had appeared from the back door in the kitchen with a serious injury. Then he had been taken to the servant room and cared for. Then something terrifying had happened. Since these people couldn't imagine that Canon-kun could have pulled that off, they had started to suspect whether that really had been Canon-kun. Is that how things are? In other words, this meant Canon-kun had appeared. No matter how confused they were, no matter how they muddled their words, that's what it meant in the end. So had Canon-kun indeed used some trick to escape that room while it was locked? No, that doesn't matter anymore. The real problem is that Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san were killed. Auntie Rosa had claimed that Canon-kun was behind this from the very beginning. No matter how confused they became and no matter how much they tried to deny it, they were halfway saying that it was the truth. But even so, for some reason, I felt like their awkwardness couldn't be explained by just confusion. What had they seen?
And Rosa's gonna say it was either them or it was Canon.
Yeah. You can't take a middle road here. Like they said, had they really seen something unexplainable with
Honestly,
words?
what the fuck? What the fuck even did happen?
Auntie Rosa, having decided that she wouldn't be able to get any more out of them, concluded her questioning, and said that she wanted to check the two bodies. I was also interested in that.
Well, we know what's gonna happen when they go back, right?
The bodies are gonna be, what is it, head and chest? Or head and stomach?
Head and chest, probably.
Even if these people didn't have a clue what was going on in their confusion, if those of us who hadn't been at the scene calmly looked at the bodies, we might find something. But it was a little surprising that Auntie Rosa was also concerned about the bodies, just like I was. Even at this point, I still wanted to expose the culprit and the truth myself, if we couldn't find any clues. But Auntie Rosa should have been different. Hadn't Auntie Rosa's plan given a higher priority to staying safe than to finding the culprit? I couldn't really see why Auntie Rosa wanted to check the bodies so badly that she would deliberately leave our fort in the parlor.
みんなで一緒に使用人室に行きます。全員一緒に行動すれば安全よ。マリア、落書き遊びはおしまいになさい。
おお、落書きじゃない。ベアトリーチェの問題を解いてるの。おお。
ベアトリーチェの問題？何のことだよ。俺にも教えてくれよ。
ローザおばさん、マリアちゃんも
But she doesn't want that to have to be solved because she wants to go to the Golden Land.
True.
It seemed that George Aniki had some resistance to bringing Maria to the bloody crime scene. Oh gee, I wonder why. But taking into consideration the fact that Maria would be left alone here, it would surely be much safer if we took her with us. In the end, it was just Aniki's irresponsible humanism. We decided that all of us, including Maria, would go to the servant room. But first, a travel montage.
Who's gonna notice it first?
Let's find out. The bed in the servant room was stained with bright red blood. No, not just the bed. The whole room was covered with a gruesome paint from countless bloodstains. What dreadful scene alone... That dreadful scene alone was enough to give us an idea of the repulsive sight they had been trying to describe.
Maria ちゃんは僕と一緒にここで待ってようね。
George Aniki was standing by the entrance, covering Maria's eyes with his back to the room. He probably didn't want to dirty an innocent girl's retinas with a repulsive red in this room. Innocent? I don't know about that. That was surely the correct decision. I was acting tough right now, so I didn't mind. But I would probably remember this room and start to vomit whenever I saw red paint scattered around. For the rest of my life. My retinas already had this room burned into them. In other words, it was too late for me.
Yep.
Right after they entered the servant room, Goda-san and Shannon-chan appeared flustered.
Wait, are the bodies gone? Or are the things stuck in them?
I got the impression that the bodies are gone.
I did too.
We shook, wondering what horrible new situation had arisen to fluster them for a second time. Auntie Rosa had also shuddered, raised her gun high, and searched for whatever it was that had them shaking. But she couldn't find it, which wasn't surprising. They were shaken because they couldn't find it.
What the fuck?
So the bodies are gone.
二人の遺体がありません。
どういうことなの？
そんなはずないんです。確かにお二人はここに。
おいおいおい、なんだよ、死体がどこかへ歩いてったってのか。
What is even going
そん
on?
なわけないだろ。
I'm so
だって
confused.
この使用人室施錠されてたんだろ。
No! Don't use that word anymore! We don't
last-
want no
la-
goddamn locked room!
Last chapter was... Chapter 1 was just like... Bodies didn't walk around.
Oh...
What is going on?
それを今、ゴーダさんが開けて入ったわけじゃないか。ってことはなんだ？ジェシカの部屋と同じってことかよ。また密室の中から消えたってのかよ。そんなバカな。
私にも何のことやらさっぱり。私たちはこの部屋を出るとき、確かに鍵をかけて、私こそ何が何やらもう。
There was a timid and painful and pitiful smile on Goda's face that he definitely wouldn't have let show normally. Shannon was the same.
二人の死体が消えた。しかも鍵をかけたのに消えた。仮にカノン君が犯人だとしても、カノン君はマスターキーをもう持ってないはず。
違います。カノン君は犯人じゃありません。
シャノン、僕はシャノンを信じるよ。カノン君は犯人なんかじゃない。きっとこれは彼によく似た何者かの仕業なんだ。
What? Someone that looks like him? There's no one that looks like him on this island. What are you saying?
Yeah.
カノン君はマスターキーを手に入れられたわよ。だって彼のマスターキーはジェシカちゃんの遺体のポケットから見つかった。そしてその鍵は誰が手に入れたの？
そうだ、南條先生が。
That's right. Back then, it definitely had been Dr. Nanjo who searched through Jessica's clothes and found the master key. So, if someone had the opportunity to search Dr. Nanjo's corpse, it would have been easy for them to take the master key back. Auntie Rosa searched under the bed and in the locker. By now, I also understood what that meant. If you assumed that there had been two culprits, it could be easily explained. The first person was Kanon-kun, or maybe an imposter that looked like him. He had finished off Dr. Nanjo and ran off somewhere. The second person was probably the 19th person, Beatrice, whose location was unknown. She had hidden under the bed in the servant room beforehand, and with Dr. Nanjo's body still enshrined here, she had waited for Genji-san and the rest to leave. Then after that, she had crawled out, taken the master key back from Dr. Nanjo's pocket, and carried the two bodies away for some reason. If she had then locked the door with the master key, this locked room would be created.
ジェシカの部屋の推理を前提になかなか素早く組み立ててきたものよ。その方法なら魔法でなくても密室は作り出せよう。まずは及第点というところか。しかし実に面白いが、お前は一つ忘れてはならぬことがあるぞ。お前の言う方法で犯人がマスターキーを取り返したなら、その犯人はマスターキーをジェシカの遺体から南條が回収したことを知っていたことになる。
言われなくても分かってるぜ。
So that points even more to someone else.
あの時、あの場にいた人物以外知り得ない情報だって言ってんだろ。
Unless somebody was hiding in the room where they didn't search.
Right.
So.
この第三の密室があっさり破られちまったもんで、そういう手で俺に闇を言うしかねえんだろ。同じネタの繰り返しは芸がないぜ。
Even though I was acting tough, that move of the witches hurt bad. I could feel cracks forming in the thing I most wanted to deny. She's trying to close in on me from two directions. On the one hand, there's the frontal attack, where she tries to force me to believe in witches using locked room tricks that only a witch could do. And on the other hand, there's the rear attack, where she tries to lure me into thinking it'd be better if there was a witch by strengthening my suspicions of those close to me. He's pretty smart for getting that alone, like the way that she's working on him, you know. If he can understand that, he has a better chance of surviving.
Yep.
In the first locked room, the chapel, she'd used the frontal attack, but it hadn't worked on me. That's undoubtedly why, with the second locked room, and now the third, she started to change the direction of her attack. However, the fact that she was changing the direction of her attack also proved that my resistance was working a little.
It also proves that witches don't exist.
I mean, yeah.
If they did attack, why would she have to change her direction?
Right. And she had surely given up on the frontal attack because she couldn't just win directly with it.
Yeah, what I was saying.
I tried to force myself to accept my own position by thinking that. But it seemed that the witch had seen through these thoughts of mine long ago.
成功法は書かぬ。絡めては成功法と同時に進めてこそ意味がある。絡めてのみに出するは手段が目的となった時に起こる愚策に過ぎぬぞ。
そうですかい。じゃあお得意の赤で何者かが使用人室に隠れていたを復唱してもらおうじゃないか。
その必要はない。お前の推理の前提は今から崩れる。
お拒否かよ。やっぱり誰かが隠れていたんだな。
ローザが今からお前の前提を崩す。
Oh no. Oh no.
まあ耳を傾けてみよう。
信じてください、ローザ様。
This is gonna go
bad.
Real fast.
確かにここに2人の遺体を安置したんです。この床の真っ赤な血は彼らのものなのです。
Auntie Rosa began to search through various objects around the room, her back to Goto-san as he cried out in supplication. Eventually, she found something and, for a while, stopped moving.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
私たちは断じて嘘などついては。
She's about to point the gun at him.
間違いなく2人の遺体は ここにあったんです。
I think you're right.
静かに。死体を隠した本人は死体はよそに持ち去ったと告白しているわ。これでね。
Oh, another note. Rosa showed them a single sheet of paper over her shoulder.
それは一体まさか礼拝堂にあったのと同じ紋章入りの封筒の手紙？
Another envelope.
ええ、そうよ。ここに堂々と置いてあったわ。読むわね。後宮家の皆様、黄金の碑文の謎解きはいよいよ佳境に入りましたでしょうか。
Once again, they haven't even tried to solve. They haven't. I don't think they've mentioned the epitaph once this episode.
I don't think so either.
At least they kind of looked at it towards the end in the first episode. But this time they just.
皆さんに私を止めることができる唯一の方法が、それ以外のいかなる方法をもってしても私と儀式を止めることはできません。くれぐれも皆さんの目的をお間違いなきようよろしくお願い申し上げます。私を探そうとも無駄、私から逃れようとも無駄、私を否定しようとも無駄なのです。黄金のベアトリーチェ。
And off the gray.
追伸。
That is what they called me. I told you to take the wizard's stuff.
P.S. Roast
二人の
Kumasawa
遺体
is
を儀
good.
式にお借りします。
Tastes like mackerel.
後ほどご返却いたしますのでご容赦をお願いいたします。あとこの鍵は皆様のものですのでご返却いたします。
As Rosa read that aloud, the contents of the envelope lay exposed on the palm of her hand. They were two master keys.
What?
The master key that Nanjo had found in Jessica's pocket, which had originally been Kanon's and Kumasawa's master key.
What the fuck?
なんだと？ってことはどういうことだよ。
What?
ふざけんなよ、またかよ。 またマスターキーを持ってる使用人しか疑えないってのかよ。
Okay.
わらわは赤では言ってはおらぬぞ。彼らがこの部屋に施錠をして去った時、この部屋に何者かが隠れていた可能性を否定してはおらぬぞ。
ベッドの下にでも隠れれば死体をどこかへ運び出すのはできないことじゃない。しかしそれじゃ施錠ができない。わざわざ手に入れたマスターキーをここへ置いてっちまってる。そうだ、忘れてた。この部屋の本来の鍵である使用人室の鍵はどうなっている？
And the back door.
うん、それなら使用人室の奥のキーボックスに収められているぞ。使用人室の鍵は数本あるがその全てがキーボックスに収められている。
ってことはジェシカの部屋の鍵の時と
Yeah.
状況は何も変わらないってことか。使用人も便利なマスターキーがあれば不要な鍵はわざわざ持ち歩かないもんな。キーボックスにしまわれっぱなしになってるのも納得だぜ。
その他の条件も何も変わらぬ。出入りは唯一の扉と唯一の窓から以外は不可能。
But what about the back door that he came through?
They're just talking about the servant room that they're in.
Oh, they took him from the kitchen to the servant room.
Canon?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they did, right?
Oh, yes, yes. They took him from the kitchen to the servant room to heal him up.
Right.
Before he disappeared. Yeah.
I wonder if there's something
ゆえ
to
に
work with that.
隠し扉などの不正規な出入り手段は否定される。喜べ名探偵ども。そしてそれらはいずれも施錠されていた。扉も窓も施錠時にはいかなる出入りも許さない。つまり施錠を維持したまま扉を外す、隙間を作ってすり抜けるなどなどは通用しないということだ。当然だが扉の開錠は使用人室の鍵とマスターキー以外は不可能。毎回これを読み上げるのも面倒だの。 今度これをまとめて一言に略す言葉でも考えよう。
だがこの部屋に誰かが隠れていたことは復唱できねえだろ。しかしそれだけでは密室の扉が破れない。ああ、クソクソ、ダメだダメだ、全然ダメだ。
お得意のチェス盤をひっくり返すとやらはどうして自慢の珍説をぜひ披露してみよ。
チェス盤をひっくり返す。俺が犯人ならどうする？死体をどこかへ運び出す。手紙を残す。内側から鍵を閉める。ここから何かの方法で。くそ、そんな方法はあるのか。扉と窓以外から外に出られないと赤で言われちまってる。あ。
What?
At that moment, I got it.
What?
That's right. Carry the corpses, leave the letter, and not rely on a hidden door, in other words, not even able to escape. That's it. This isn't a question. It's an answer.
ベアト。
I feel really weird about him calling her Beato.
復唱要求の前にお前の言う隠し扉の定義を確認した。
Why? It's cute.
It's starting to make me wonder what their relationship is going to turn into as the end goes on.
何を思いついたやら。よかろう。説明する。
I don't know about you.
隠し扉とは知らぬ人間が認識できぬ出入り口のことであろうが。
Hidden door refers to an entrance or exit that cannot be recognized by those who do not know of it.
そんなこと子供でも知っておろう。
つまり部屋の外に出られなかったらそれは隠し扉じゃないってことだよな。
What if it's like a hidden compartment?
ほう。
Oh.
そうきたか。
俺は犯人は密室から抜け出したものだとばかり思ってい
But
た。
they could still be in there, right?
Oh shit.
違うんだ。犯人だって密室から脱出できなかったんだ。だから隠れてやり過ごそうとした。
I had used this theory for the second locked room and reasoned that Kanon-kun might have done this. But I had given up that reasoning when I was told Kanon-kun was killed in red. And next, I had reasoned that if there had been a third person in the room, it would have been possible for them to escape through a hidden door. And that was when, for the first time, the claim had been made in red that no hidden doors exist. And what I'd learned just now, these hidden doors the witch was talking about referred to things that made it possible to get into or out of the room. In other words, things that didn't permit entry or exit to the outside, and also wouldn't be noticed by people who didn't know about them, wouldn't fall under the definition of hidden
A
doors.
swinging bookshelf closet.
False back panel.
Yeah.
In other words, if there were, for example, something like a hidden shelf or a secret closet, they wouldn't be defined as
A
hidden
swinging
doors.
bookshelf closet. That's just a combination of a shelf and a closet. Ooh.
Wow. Isn't that's just like so old-fashioned, like mystery, secret compartments, and like, in other words, a third person in Jessica's room was hiding here, waiting for us to pass by.
Isn't that that's what they checked the entire room for?
Well, I mean, you can check, but still miss something, you know?
Is it likely that there's a secret passageway in both Jessica's or a secret compartment in both Jessica's room and this room?
I don't know. Ha, how pathetic, just a little playing around with words. With this method, it looks like I can even manage the third locked room, the servant room. If there's a hidden shelf under the bed or anything like that, that would be enough. The culprit's hiding somewhere, waiting for us to leave.
Stop with this bullshit.
It's... Again, it's a stretch. It's definitely a stretch. The culprit is also trapped in the locked room even now, which means, at this very moment, the culprit is still hiding in the servant room, holding their breath. And that means... what the hell? Even though we've been tortured with locked rooms 3 times, in this very moment, we've actually gotten the culprit in checkmate.
Beto, bring it out. Bring out the highlighter, the red highlighter.
Do some marks. Get some marks in there.
小要求この部屋には俺たち以外の誰もいない
Who are us?
Yeah, define us.
俺たちってのは
Oh, okay.
俺ジョージの兄貴マリアローザおばさんゲンジさんゴーダさんシャノンちゃんのことだぜどうだ言えねえだろ
Yes, she can. She's gonna say it. She's gonna say it.
That makes my day when she does that.
Look how smug he looks. She's gonna say it.
Yeah.
She's gonna say it.
He's getting too cocky.
次行くぜ気象要求
I don't know how they're hiding in this room, but if that's a fact, then this also resolves the second locked room, Jessica's room, at the same time.
There's nobody hiding in the rooms.
I finally caught her by the tail. With this, I can explain everything. Witches don't exist, I don't have to doubt anyone.
Witches don't exist, but apparently secret compartments in every room do.
Apparently. Alright, starting now, I'll flip it over. Wicka, wicka, wicka. The next thing I'll request...
Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes.
この部屋にはお前たち以外は存在しない。
Yep.
お前たちの定義とはバトラー、ジョージ、マリア、ローザ、ゲンジ、ゴーダ、シャノンのことを指す。
I really wanted to see that.
No one exists in this room. Wouldn't you normally say no one is in this room?
How can somebody not exist in the room?
I don't fucking know. But they always put exists in quotes around Beatrice.
Somebody might not exist in the room if they're dead in the room.
But we're talking about the culprit. The culprit would have to still be alive, right?
Not if there were 2 culprits and one of them was in the room but killed themselves after they killed themselves in like a secret compartment.
So overwhelmed with shame, and they crawl into a secret compartment and just decide to end it.
Maybe.
This theorizing is excellent.
Naughty.
Naughty.
ジェシカの部屋に話を戻す。ジェシカの死体発見時、ジェシカの部屋にいたのはバトラ、ジョージ、マリア、ローザ、ゲンジ、ゴーダ、シャノン、熊沢、南條のみだった。
Is that everyone?
Yep, that was everybody.
おっと、死体のジェシカももちろん含む。よって、ジェシカの部屋の件、そしてこの使用人室の件の両方について、そなたが認識していた以外の人間は存在しない。
Watch it turns out one of them's an android.
誰も隠れていない。
I think it would be canon out of all of them.
Maybe.
To be the most android-like.
さらによ、扉は鍵を使用せずに外から施錠する方法は存在しない。窓については外からはいかなる方法でも施錠する方法は存在しない。ついでによ。
Oh boy.
そなたは。
That's the truth. You are incompetent.
Oh, that's rough, man. Oh. Look at her face. Look at her face. That's incredible.
Look at it.
That is amazing.
What's that meme? Look at it, and then some guy goes, or some weird laugh.
I don't know.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh.
Is it like a vine or something?
Maybe. You're incompetent.
I can't get over that face. I'm in love with that face. The laughing is in red too.
野郎。それじゃ本当に3つじゃ
Red
ねえかよ。
text abuse.
Yeah, really.
That's the title of this episode, Red text abuse.
Make sure you write that down.
What, red text abuse?
Yeah.
Abuse of red text? I
お
don't
前
know.
が書
Is
か
that
れ
a
てい
good
たんだ。
title?
That's pretty good.
すべて説明がついたのにトリックを打ち破れたと思ったってのに。くそくそくそ。
Oh, he's
He's lost
crying.
it. He's lost
He's
it.
crying.
He's lost it.
It's no good, no good, no good, no goddamn good. For a second, I thought I had it. It was no goddamn good at all. Beatrice,
You bitch.
you bitch. I thought you were all smoke and mirrors, playing word games that made clever use of red. I was certain you just cleverly deceived me. Just when I thought I'd seen a light in the darkness, it disappeared. It just disappeared. Swallowed up by a blood-red sea.
What, you think this is just a pleasant game where death is just pleasant?
She's trying to exist, man. Red. Red, red, red. No one is hiding. And there's no hidden door, and no way to trick the doors or the windows while they're locked.
And even if they solve this, even if he solves this, everybody's still gonna be dead.
Yeah. Have you just proven that it's all impossible? Has the devil's proof been pulled off? With full frontal nudity?
What?
Oh.
No.
Full frontal attack? Impossible. This is impossible.
どうしたの
絶対無理。
後ろ宮バトラー。
Is that impossible?
魔女を否定する気で満々だったじゃない。そんなところで這いつくばって悔し涙を絞り出してどうしたんだ。
どうしてんだ。
ああ、それはとっても素敵な方法。
God, she is an incredible
Zettai
voice actress.
Zettai Muri is very, very impossible.
Nice.
わらわを笑い転げさせて笑い涙の海で溺れ殺してやろうというのは確かに素敵。実はそうなんだろう。わらわを笑って笑って笑い殺してやろうって手なんだろう。後ろ宮バトラー。
I love the way she extends those words. They creepy Maria laugh.
何か魔法だ。魔女なんて絶対に否定してやる。お前なんて絶対に信じない。魔法の力でみんなを面白半分にいじめ殺してるなんて絶対に認めねえ。
なあバトラー、いじめすぎて悪かった。わらわ側からチェス盤をひっくり返してやるぞ。お前に代わってお前側の最善手を教えて
My, how the
やるよ。
turntables.
My, how the chessboard flips.
聞きたい？
Or my, how the flips chessboards.
How
聞き
the
たくねえ聞きたくね
how the board chess flips.
ジェシカの部屋の件、そなたは実に良いところをついていたのだぞ。隠れてやり過ごそうとした。これは実にいい着眼だった。だが、なぜそれをカノンと19人目のわらわにしか考えなかった？
Because he's caught trying to deny that wishes exist and trying to deny that one of the humans did it.
そうか。隠れてやり過ごすの。隠れてが邪魔だったから考えが至らなかったか。ほーら、もうわかるだろう。ジェシカだよ。ジェシカ。
If Jessica were the culprit, a farce like this could easily be constructed. She killed Canon-kun and carried him off somewhere. Then she played dead and let us walk by.
Or not even hiding. What? Okay. Theory. They walk into the room. The person in the room isn't necessarily hiding in there the entire time, just hiding there to begin with, and pretends to step in as they step in. You know what I mean? like pretends that they've just entered the room. One of the people.
The problem is that they all moved together.
That's true. They did all move together.
So, otherwise, I would say that that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't Nanjo check her pulse and stuff?
Yeah.
See if she was dead?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to play dead when someone is, you know.
That's probably what he's about to say. That's ridiculous.
There are, like, drugs you can take that, like, induce a...
There are also people that can, like, voluntarily stop their heartbeat.
Really?
It's very, very rare. Like, specific people, like... I think, like, only a few people in the world can do it.
That's crazy.
Techniques to stop their heartbeat.
That's scary. I wouldn't want to be the guy who finds out that he can do that on accident one day and just, like...
I saw it on Stanley's Superhumans.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But that's ridiculous. Dr. Nanjo had definitely checked that she was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So is Dr. Nanjo an accomplice too?
I've been saying it's him all along.
Chigayo, or whatever. What's it?
Sore wa chigayo.
Chigayo? Is that how you say it? That's wrong. Would that be the right translation?
Sore wa chigayo.
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 I had also made sure that Jessica was really dead. Like, really dead. Sure, I'd never performed an examination of a corpse before, but she was definitely dead. I think she was dead. No, she probably, surely, maybe, possibly, definitely, at least I think so, but she has to be...
Oh no.
No. She was dead. She was dead!
ジェシカもグルなのよ。そして検視をした南條もグル。ならば第三の密室など茶番だろうが。
Oh, Sore wa chigayo is the key phrase, like the signature phrase in the Danganronpa series.
Never heard of it.
It's another, like, game mystery type thing.
Oh, okay. Would that be the equivalent to no goddamn good at all? Or it's useless? Like in this game?
No, in that game, that's when the person's... It's like... You know how Phoenix raises objection?
Yeah.
Sore wa chigayo is like saying, that's wrong, or that's incorrect, or you're wrong.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, then it's simple. Dr. Nanjo was an accomplice, so in other words, he was on the culprit's side. So in other words... In other words...
I'm going to stop you.
Oh boy! He was never killed in the first place! We thought we had killed... We thought he had been killed and the body had disappeared, but he wasn't in the servant room in the first place! Oh ho! Oh boy! Then is Kumasawa Ba-chan, who disappeared with him. Also an accomplice?
She might be.
That's not all. That
kids.
is not all.
Hi, kids. The servants.
Alright, that's enough. The servants who are going along with that story, Genji-san and Goto-san, and even Shannon-chan are accomplices. Then, the one who stole the key from Maria's handbag was Jessica. No. It's also possible it was George Aniki. She's driving him crazy. After all, if Shannon-chan was on the culprit's side, then George Aniki would automatically be on the culprit's side as well.
Yeah.
Wait a second, just wait a second. Chotomate.
They're not all wolves.
They're all wolves. They're all wolves. Not only am I drowning in an ocean of bright red blood, there are packs of wolves clamoring on the banks, whose blazing eyes tell me that if I crawl out, they'll eat me. Which way should I die? Will I have everything denied and drown in a bright red sea? Will I know the truth and have my whole body chewed to bits by the wolves? It's either one hell or the other. I can't choose.
だからこそわらわがいる。さあ後ろ宮バトラー、ひざまずけ。
I don't like that.
そして永遠の忠誠を誓ってわらわの靴を舐める わらわを認めれば全ての謎に決着がつく。
Can we even trust the red text anymore?
All of it's true.
But she's giving commands this time, and it's in red text.
The commands are true. They're true statements. Doesn't mean you have to follow them.
わらわの力をもってすればどのような密室も生み出す。そして打ち破れる。バートラ。
Oh, what's the fuck?
The different
力ある
faces.
者に屈服する喜びに身を委ねたくはない。そなたはわらわの一番のお気に入りの家具にしてやるよ。
I'll make you best boy.
そなたを愛して愛して灰になるまでわらわの玩具にしてやるよ。
That's pretty hot. Okay, but why is the laughing in her?
Because it's true.
It's true that she's laughing.
The laughing is true.
That doesn't need to be.
The laughing is real. Oh.
I love those faces.
これではっきりしたわ。
All of your
もう
rules.
疑いようもない。
Oh
は
no. Oh no. Oh
と
no.
言いますと
It's shoddy time.
あなたたちが死んだという二人はここにいない。
They
そして
killed Cannon.
ベアトリーチェからの手紙があり、親切にも死体は持ち去ったと告白してくれている。
It was Beatrice all along.
そういうことよ。もう茶番は飽き飽きしたわ。
We've heard this.
This shit's going down.
The last time we heard this was
It's going down. Was when?
at the end of the last episode, or the last chapter.
Oh,
Towards the
damn.
end. The whole Maria.
As Auntie Rosa yelled this, she looked over at everyone with a harsh expression.
茶番ってどういう意味ですか？
私はジェシカちゃんの部屋で言ったわ。信用できるのは自分自身だ。死体となって見つかった者以外いないってね。そして死体が見つからない以上、あの二人が殺されたことを認めるわけにはいかない。
待ってください、ローザおばさん。それはどういう意味ですか？
南條先生と熊沢さんは死んでないわ。生きている。殺されたということにして、この屋敷のどこかに隠れてるのよ。私たちを襲うためにね。
なんでそんなことがわかるんですか？ゴーダさんたちが嘘をついていると言うんですか？
ローザ
Yes,
様
because Nanjo and Kurosawa definitely are the most
後ろ
capable
見
of
やけ
killing
使
people.
用人
I
に
know, right?
誓ってそのようなことはいたしません。
あなたたち
You're all
は
in it together.
南條先生たちは殺されたという。でも死体がない以上、それを信じるわけにはいかないの。あなたたちが口裏を合わせてそういう嘘をついている可能性があるのに、あなたたちの無実を信じる方法はちゃんとあるわよ。南條先生と熊沢さんの遺体が見つかることよ。それが見つかったら、私はあなたたちの話を聞いてみようという話にもなる。
No, she'll
で
just
も
say that they killed
見つ
they
からない
killed them.
限り、あなたたちは狼であることを否定できない。あんたも黄金に目がくらんであの魔女に買収されたんでしょう。そんなに金が欲しい？そうなんでしょう。一生遊んで暮らしたいの？そんな人生に何の価値があるのよ。
Pretty sure she was one of the people who wanted a lot of money
Right now.
right now. So, a little bit of hypocrisy there.
ローザ様、私たちはそんな。
黙りなさい。そしてシャノン、それ以上近づかないで。10年も恩を受けながらそれをあだで返すなんて、容赦なく引き金を引くわよ。
そんなのってひどすぎます。
ローザおばさん、それは暴言だ。この部屋で殺人が起こった。そして犯人が死体を持ち去った。彼女たちはそれを正直に申告しているだけだ。
Shannon had finally broken down in tears. She had sacrificed 10 years to the Yoshiromiya family. She had sacrificed 10 of the most brilliant years of her life. And she had believed that she had built up a friendly relationship with Rosa as well. And this was how she was treated? Well, it's not really about being friendly or nice anymore. People are literally dead. You gotta be rational. You could kill a person without using a knife. It wasn't just George Aniki. Even I could recognize that Shannon-chan had been stabbed deep into her heart, as blood by the name of tears flowed out.
Shannon-san, 下がって。ローザ様。確かにこのゴーダはお勤めして日も浅く、信用を勝ち得ていないのはわかります。しかし、せめてシャノンさんだけでも信じていただくわけには参りませんか。彼女は10年間も後ろ宮家に奉仕を捧げて参りました。このゴーダを信じろとは申しません。せめてシャノンさんだけでも。
But I don't understand anymore. I don't understand. We can't seek an answer without suspecting them. That's it. Bit by bit, I am starting to understand. It's because we seek an answer. That's why everything keeps getting stranger. We don't need an answer. These are all strange murders committed with bizarre magic by the 19th person, the witch Beatrice, as she follows a creepy ritual. Isn't that good enough? I don't want to suspect anyone anymore. Shannon-chan and Goda-san were protesting their innocence, half in tears. Genji-san quietly stopped that.
よしなさい。ローザ様の言うことはもっともだ。死体を見つけない限り、南條先生と熊沢の無実を。
That's right. By Rosa-san's argument, if the corpses could be found, then the innocence of at least those people could be proved. But only the people who were corpses. Even if they searched during the mansion and found the corpses, in the end, their own innocence would not be proved. They had abducted Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san, killed them in another place, and locked the room with their own master keys. Unless the locked room could be broken by a method other than that one, it would be impossible to prove their innocence. But that couldn't be done. They only have one chance to prove their innocence. That can only happen when they meet with the culprit, become corpses, and are reunited with Auntie Rosa. That's messed up. Innocent if they die, guilty as long as they live, almost like a witch's trial. Oh, right. The enemy is a witch. So that makes it okay?
Witches don't exist.
ローザさん、私たちは後ろ宮家にお仕えする家具です。私とも信用されるもされないものだ。たとえどのようなご評価をいただこうとも、最後の時までお務めを続けるのみでございます。
Man, a few words, but when he does speak,
あなたは本当に使用人の鏡ね。
it's damn good.
お父様が心を許すのもよくわかるわ。そんなあなたまで疑わなくてはならないなんて本当に心苦しいわ。
Genji-san stuck his hand into his pocket and pulled out a master key. Then he set it on an adjacent table.
私は信頼の証としてこれを預かっていると信じています。それを失ったならこれをお返しするのは当然かと思います。
それはいい判断ね。今日何度もあなたたちが疑われてきた最大の根拠は、それを手放せば疑いが晴らせるのではないかというのは、まあ悪いことじゃないと思うわ。
If none of them have master keys, then none of them can be suspected.
It's true. But then they can't really go anywhere in the mansion.
That's true too.
二人とも
I like this track. Is this a new one?
Maybe.
Genji-san looked at Goda-san and Shannon-chan. The two of them nodded and set their own master keys onto the table. Auntie Rosa laid the 2 master keys that had come out of the envelope on top. With that, all 5 master keys were gathered in this place. In other words, this was proof that all of the servants' service until today had been negated, and even the final horror that they should have been permitted had been stripped from them.
Honor.
Maria.
Oh,
その土佐を貸しなさい。
He seems a little confused there.
I was... Ugh. Well, based on today's events, I think horrors are pretty good.
I agree.
Auntie Rosa snatched Maria's handbag, tossed all the master keys in there noisily, then lifted one out and held it up for all to see. She was announcing that she had all of the master keys.
これで満足かい。ローザおばさん。
Next time somebody dies.
これでマスターキーはローザおばさんが持つものだけだ。
That's suspected. No, we've definitely heard this.
Maybe it's a different variation.
It's true.
They do that a lot.
これで満足なんだろう。
ええ、満足よ。たとえ全員が信用できなくても、私は私自身だけを信用することができる。その私が銃とマスターキーを独占できた。
Now all of you are dead.
これで私はもう誰も疑わずに済むの。あなたたちも嬉しいでしょ。これでもう疑われずに済む。
No! No! Oh no! Oh fuck.
What?
Dude.
What?
No. Then Maria, who had looked like a spectator off by herself, sneered at her mother. Auntie Rosa reacted nervously to that laugh and turned around.
鍵なんか関係ないよ。ベアトリーチェは魔法で扉を開けられる。鍵なんていらない。そんなもの誰が持っていたって持っていなくたって関係ないんだよ。
If keys don't matter, then why did she lose the game against Battler with the chapel? You know?
They do matter.
They do
Because there's no
matter.
such thing as witches and there's no such thing as magic.
その笑い方をやめなさいっていつも言ってるでしょ。なーに、バトラ君。
I had just cut between the two of them. No, that's not it. I was on my knees and hugging Maria's head. I was crying.
もうよしてくれよ、ローザおばさん。アリアが正しかったんだ。
何を言っているの？
Don't.
I don't like where this is going.
マリア、疑って悪かった。信じなくて悪かった。
No.
バトラ。
No.
全部魔女の仕業だったんだ。魔女の仕業だったんだよ。トリックとかミスとかどうでもよかったんだ。ただベアトリーチェっていう魔女が実在して本当に魔女だっただけなんだ。
No. What are you saying? There's no such thing as a witch's
それ
battler.
も俺は信じなかったから
There
こんなにも苦しくて。
No such thing as witches. Shut up.
There's gotta be another angle to this.
バトラはベアトリーチェを信じてくれる？
ああ、信じる。ベアトリーチェはいるんだ。
There's the frickin' quotes again!
そして不思議な魔法を使う魔女なんだ。
She broke him.
バトラ。
Maria let go of my hand, and then she was the one holding my head.
それでいいんだよ、バトラ。ベアトリーチェはいたの。
Why is that in past tense? He used past tense earlier too.
What?
Hold on. It's just that the witch Beatrice actually exists, and she really was a witch. And then
no idea.
Beatrice existed.
バトラ
In
が
quotes
な
again.
かなかそれを信じられなかったから見えなかったの。
Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
魔女はいるの。
That still bothers me so
い
much.
る。もうすぐ来る。
Now comes in quotes too.
バトラはベアトを信じてくれたからきっと黄金鏡へ招かれるよ。もうすぐだからもう何も怖くないよ。マリアと一緒にお手手をつないでずっと一緒にいよう。一緒に非分の謎を考えよう。ベアトの問題を考えよう。ベアトは最初から言ってるよ。この問題を解いて遊ぼうとしか言ってないよ。
ああ、そうだったんだ。犯人探しなんて全くの時間の無駄だったんだ。俺たちはただ魔女を信じればよかったんだ。
After softly brushing my cheek as my tears kept dripping down, Maria kissed my forehead, as soft as a feather. For just that instant, Maria's smile, which I had once thought was creepy, looked like an angel.
マスターキーはお返ししましたが、私どもの後ろ宮家への忠誠は変わりません。客前は以後、お許しがない限り立ち入りません。どうかローザ様も客間を内側より施錠なさってください。
本当に殊勝な人ね。台風が過ぎ去ってこの島に再び海猫の鳴き声が戻ってきたなら、私たちは再び互いを信頼し合えるのかしら。
もし再びの信頼を賜えるのでしたら、これに勝る喜びはありません。
そうね、私たちは必ず分かり合えるわ。海猫の鳴く頃に。
This fucking game.
この部屋は警察が来るまで
Stop with the
このま
fucking
まにした方
shotgun
が良いで
noises.
す。
Yeah, does it make a cocking sound every time you move it?
ローザ様、施錠をお願いいたします。私たちは厨房へ戻ります。何かございましたらいつでもご用命ください。
ありがとう。あなたが狼だったならなんてシャーシャーとのたまうのか。そしてあなたが羊だったならあなたを狼の檻に放り出してごめんな。
家具は家に運命を委ねます。命を落とすことになろうとも、それによってローザ様の信頼を再び勝ち取れるならば、それはとても光栄なことです。
I want to check something out real quick.
Okay.
Just want to go through the characters and see if there are any like the first game, how they said they couldn't tell if some people who some people were because their faces were smashed. Nope, no faces smashed here.
What does it say for canon?
Do we not? Oh, it still says no corpse.
Right.
I don't think we read this. Found in her own room in the mansion with a weapon shaped like a stake having been rammed into her back.
At the very end, she got to be with the person she loved. She must have been happy.
できることならばあなたたちがこれはすべて台風が奏でる暴風と降雨の競争曲。演奏が終われば幕が下り、私たちは再び手を取り合えるに違いない。海猫の
Damn good writing.
鳴く頃に。
This goddamn game. Auntie Rosa nodded in response. Genji-san turned on his heels. he left the servant room. Goda-san's face was still streaked with tears. But as he had listened to Genji-san's words, maybe he had managed to sort out his heart. His face had been truly shameful, but it had returned to the face of a Goda-san he knew well.
私も厨房に控えております。何かございましたらいつでもご用命ください。温かい食事をお望みでしたらいつでもこの合田最高のお料理を用意させていただきます。
ありがとう。あなたには明日の朝食を頼みたいわ。明日の昼前には船も来るでしょう。今までありがとう。六軒島で唯一の楽しみがあなたの食事だったわ。
かしこまりました。この合田最高の朝食を用意いたします。
Full of poison.
どうか明日の朝を楽しみにしてください。
Make a mackerel in honor of Kumasawa.
ありがとう。
Celebrate her passing.
シャノンちゃんも明日の朝に美味しいコーヒーを飲みながら仲直りをしましょう。ジョージ君。
僕も彼らと一緒に行く。
いいんです。庄司様、どうか客間にお戻りになってください。もうマスターキーは他にありません。だからローザ様とご一緒に客間にいれば誰にも脅かされません。
そうね、そういうことになってる。客間に私と一緒にいるのが客観的に考えて一番安全だと思うわ。
Oh yeah, that's not subjective at all.
でも無理に一緒にいるとは言わない。ジョージ君はジョージ君の安全だと思う場所にいればいい。ジョージ君ももう大人だものね。明日の朝までどこで誰と過ごそうと自由だもの。
そうさ。
I don't want Battler to be alone with Rosa.
Yeah.
僕は
Rose and Maria.
僕の判断で。
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting about Maria.
I do too. Until she pops up and does something fucking creepy, and then you're like, well, she's still here.
誰と夜を過ごすか決める。
Ooh, spend the night with. Ooh.
You're not funny.
バトラ君はローザおばさんと客間にいるんだ。きっとそれが一番安全なんだ。客間の外はそれに比べたら安全ではないと思う。ならそんな場所にいる彼女を。
俺は決してシャノンちゃんや他の使用人を、いや誰かを疑ってるわけじゃないんだ。誰も疑いたくないんだ。遺産黄金そんなのくだらねえじゃねえかよ。そんなので殺し合いなんてあるわけねえじゃねえかよ。
People kill for less.
バトラ君の心が美しいことは僕が一番知っている。誰も君を責めない。誰も。
兄貴。
大丈夫。バトラはマリアが守る。マリアと一緒ならベアトリーチェでも手出しできない。だってマリアはちっちゃくても魔女だもの。
うん。マリアちゃん、バトラ君をよろしく。さあ、シャノン、行こう。
はい、ローザ様。それでは失礼させていただきます。ご用命がございましたらいつでもお呼びつけください。
さっきはひどいことを言ってごめんなさいね。明日の朝まで許さなくてもいい。でも明日の朝になったらもう一度謝らせて。
はい、ありがとうございます。
George Aniki and Shannon-chan left the servant room together. Now, only Maria, Auntie Rosa, and I were left in this disgusting blood-stained room.
Oh no.
Until Genji-san disappeared, until Goda-san disappeared, until George Aniki and Shannon-chan disappeared, we stood there in a daze.
I don't like the three of them together.
After their presence and their footsteps had disappeared completely, Auntie Rosa giggled at them as though she had just remembered something pleasant.
Oh no, what
Are
is
you
this?
sure that's...
何も信用できないわよ。家具どもが。
That one sentence made me choke.
なんでそんな ことを言うんだよ。
マスターキーは5つで全部。そんなの誰が信じるの？
This is a new one.
This is definitely new.
どうせ複製の鍵があるに決まってるのよ。彼らが懐から鍵を出したくらいで信用なんかできるものか。
そりゃあねえぜ。その鍵を置いたってのはよ、単に鍵を手放したってだけじゃねえ。あんた彼らの今日までの苦労全て台無しにして怪我して踏みつけて、その挙句としてその鍵を手放させたんだぜ。その捨て台詞はなんだよ。ここまでして見せてなおまだ信用できないってのかよ。あんまりだぜ、あんまりだぜ、そんなのって。
悪魔の証明なのよ。マスターキーは全部で5つ。そんなこと証明不能なのよ。マスターキーが5つあることはここに置けば示せる。でも5つ以上存在しないことは証明できない。そんなことは悪魔か魔女にしか証明できないのよ。
もうやめてくれ、もうやめて。
He is so broken, man.
頼むよベアトリーチェ、まさか現れてくれ。そしてローザおばさんに赤でマスターキーは5本しかないって言ってやってくれ。頼むよ、5丁だよ。悪魔にしか証明できないんだよ。魔女のお前なら証明できるんだよ。
There's no such thing as witches, Battler. Sorry.
頼むからベアト、ここに現れてローザおばさんにマスターキーはそれで全部だから、もうみんなを疑わなくていいんだって。
マスターキーは5本しかない。マスターキーは5本しかない。これはどうしたこと
Oh, we already knew that.
わらわがいくら口にしてもローザに届かぬ。どうやらわらわの存在を否定しているやつがまだいるから聞こえないみたいだな。
Good.
後ろ宮バートラ
Was it an act?
What?
His whole.
No, I think Rosa denies that she exists.
認める、
Oh!
認めるよ。お前はいる、いる、確かにいる。だ
She
から
can't
5丁
exist
だよ。
unless everybody
も
Believes.
うこんなのはやめてくれ。
until
もうやめて。
I don't want to think of what existing would mean.
Yeah.
So
言葉だけでは届かぬぞ。態度で示せ。
Oh, she does mean him.
わらわの家具になると心から誓え。できるか？服を脱げ。裸になるんだよ。そして両手をついて地に這え。
A full frontal attack.
着衣は霊長にのみ認められた証だ。貴様は今から家具になるんだよ。だからその資格を失う当然のこと。そしてひざまずけよ。わらわの靴に舌を這わせろ。
I'm pretty sure Rosa was still the one she was talking about not believing.
できるんだよな。そうしたら現れてやるよ。赤で言ってやる。マスターキーは5本しかないってローザに言ってやるよ。ああ、でも分かってる。誇り高きお前がプライドを捨てられるわけがない。それでもいいんだよ。十分なんだよ。靴を舐めてもいいか一瞬思っただろう。すぐにそれを否定して自分を恥じただろう。その表情が見れるだけで最高に素敵な気分なんだよ。
Sure it does.
ざまあねえ顔だよ。鏡で見てみろよ。裸になって靴を舐めてる最低なお前が映ってるぜ。見えるかよ、後ろ宮バートラー。
Error, 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 error,
Well, fuck.
error, 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 error.